Listen here, if you work hard, anything can be achieved. That was said by the founder of Work Wheels, Takeshi Tanaka, when he founded the company with a $25,000 investment in Osaka, Japan. And as of this year, Work has now become one of the largest wheel companies in the world. That movie's not even gonna relate to anybody anymore. But at minimum wage, you will need to work, get it, really hard, because a set of Work ZR10s will cost you 290 hours of minimum wage work, which can make you wonder if they're actually worth it. So welcome to the ultimate buyer's guide for Work Wheels. And if you can count how many times I actually say the word work in this video correctly below, I will personally send you a free hat, and I apologize because it's gonna be a lot. But in this video, we'll be covering the following. Number one, what makes Work Wheels special? From their insane paint detail process to the level of detail that they put into every wheel that gives them a less than 0.001 defect rate. Number two, then we'll spend some time breaking down the wheel models and why there are so many different ones, including the technology so that you can stunt on those kids with those little silly cast wheels, if that actually matters for you. It's going to, because you're gonna be spending a lot of money on these. Then number three, we'll break down the cost by model and design and size and finish so that you can actually decide which one should you actually get. And finally, what is the right work wheel for your build? And honestly, if you even need them. So welcome to Martini Works. I'm Alex Martini, and if at any point you're looking for aftermarket wheels like Work, or if you wanna get wheel entire packages shipped right to your door with a lifetime order guarantee, get on down to martiniworks.com. This is where I would say, go on, get it, because it's just this tick that's in my head right now and I can't get it out. So what makes Work Wheels special? Well, they have 150 or so employees that operate the entire globe, all right? They're everywhere. But where they make their wheels is actually in different places of Japan, either Okayama, Sakai, Shiki, Japan, depending on the wheel model. And this is really where it makes it special, because almost all of it all goes down in Japan, and it's all owned by Work. So parts of the wheels are made in the Okayama prefecture, with a specific factory making their barrels and another factory that makes the case and the forged center discs. They also have a paint facility in the south of Osaka that handles every Work wheel, and then a separate factory for assembly in Sakai for putting all the stuff together. Their material comes from across the globe, mostly from Japan and America, which sounds a little weird, but they even have their own sourced foundry for other random bits and pieces. But unlike certain brands, once the parts enter Japan, it doesn't really leave until it's a finished wheel. So how is that different from a place like China? Well, in China, wheels are made in mass. The molds are run as long as possible, and the wheels all go through a standard process of injecting the forbidden Capri Sun juice, if you will, pressurizing it, cutting it, washing it, cooling it, painting it, and then giving it the old Dakota wheel slap and sending it out. And while they're checked for initial quality, Chinese factories operate typically within a defect rate of 2.5% for major defects and 4% for minor defects. This could be things like scratches, paint issues, and even the weight being off from what the designers thought it could be. I'm not making this up because we actually had wheels made in China at one point. But for good old daddy Work, their defect rate ends up being less than 0.01%. How? Like Disney's Rebellion ride. It doesn't quite make sense on your first purchase or walkthrough, but once you get the lightning pass, you go a second or third time, you start to notice that they got some movie magic, okay? Work's low defect rate is because their multi-piece wheels are checked for trueness more than 3 times throughout the entire assembly process. If it doesn't make the cut, it goes back. It's because their welds are spot checked immediately after assembly, and it's all done in-house. It's because their painting process is inspected before, during, curing, and after, and it's all done in-house. It's because their hardware is glued, not just torqued, and inspected across every wheel. All in-house by people, human beings, not always robots. And they can do this because most of Work's production processes work as an on-demand production system that was mimicked from Toyota in the 70s and 80s. And all that means is that they make the wheels once you pretty much place the order, especially on 2-piece and 3-piece stuff, which is why wheels can take a long time to get here. So while Work's price point is a bit up there, which is fair, and we'll get into that in a little bit, I, on behalf of selling wheels for 8 years, can confidently say that they are the best value if you want the best wheel without overspending. So what are the Work wheel models? Well, because 70% of Work's machining capability is dedicated to 2-piece and 3-piece wheel production, this means that Work has more model lineups than your standard high schooler has sheen shirts. I mean, it is insane. Look at the VSKF PDF and tell me you're not confused. Anyone in the right mind is confused by reading this. And the fact that this information is readily available just makes it more difficult for anybody to understand just what the hell they're trying to buy. That's why we're here. Let's fix it. So most of the wheel models are going to have different variations of things so that they can cover a huge gamut of different platforms. You have things like different rims, standard, deep rim, big caliper, or reverse disc. Because work wheels have so many molds, they use a letter system to indicate the aggressiveness of the concavity of the face to make sure you know for the brake clearance. Now, this is the best and also kind of worst part about buying work wheels. There's just so many options, and it's why we always try to be very specific with these orders, because once they actually get processed, you can't change your mind because work is already on to making the wheels. Now, anyway, on to the models, because there's a bunch of different kinds. You have Craig, Emotion, Equip, Gnosis or Gnosis, Goo Cars, you have Landvec, LS, MCO Racing, Meister, Schwartz, Seeker, VS, Zeist, and Zistance, like Power Rangers. Craig are truck style designs. Goo Cars, weird name, is an American torque thrust. The MCO Racing is a single wheel hiding in there. It's a 10-spoke. Kind of all by its lonesome. Zeist or Zeist, Zistance, Schwartz, and Landvec are not places in Germany, but they're all just fairly similar, but different models, and they're mostly in different lineups because of the size limitation of each design, with some being built for like 15 to 20 inch, where others might only be made for 21 inches and plus. But the Emit, the Emotion, the Equip, the LS, the Meister, the Seeker, and the VS, those are like the Marvel movies leading up to Endgame, not whatever Ironheart is. I still can't believe that she's dogging on an Iron Man who's in that show. I don't even know who the fuck. If you want to skip all the model information, now is the time after hearing what the most popular ones are, because this is going to be a lot. So the speed round, number one, CR Kiwami one piece, ZR10 one piece, the Workmeister S1 3P, the VSKF, the D9R, and the Equipo 1 are our most popular wheels. Okay, now for the nitty gritty. The Emit is a two-piece reverse step lift wheel, 19 to 21 inches, goes up to 12.5 inches wide, and it is great for VIP builds or for big body builds. Then you have the Emotion series. Now, most of this is going to be a one-piece wheel using Works flow forming technology and is a now legal 25-year-old as of right now. So if you're looking for the most affordable work wheel, it's going to be in this series lineup. Current models rated from most popular to least are the CR Kiwami. It's a nice lightweight. It can be a multi-piece wheel if you wanted to. Comes from 15 to 19 inches. It's kind of like the pork cutlet of wheels. It's also available in a three-piece design. You have a D9R, which is a deep dish aesthetic with like a nice lip design, more convex, around 17 and 19 inches are the most popular sizes. You have the ZR10, which is probably one of the most popular wheel designs right now from Work. It's a one-piece. We had it on the Z, and it looked absolutely incredible with different sort of concavities. You can get all sorts of cool looks, and I think it's my favorite work wheel. You can also get that in a two-piece. The T5R, it's a 5-spoke classic design, mostly 17 to 19 inches in diameter. That one's also available in a two-piece. You have the T7R. Can you guess how many spokes that one has? It's introduced in 2024. It's a twin 7-spoke, 17 to 19 inches. The newest edition, it features ultra-thin spokes. It's similar to like the Kansei 7 or the Stage Belmont, or dare I say, the Yankee RPF 1. You have the M8R, which is a twin 8-spoke design, and you have the RS11, which is a compact sport wheel with like a classic styling. Then you have the Equip line with the Equipo 5 and the Equip E10. It's either a 5-spoke or a 10-spoke, and it's a bit of an older design. But that does bring us into more of the multi-piece side of things, which is mostly the Meister series. You're gonna see the S1 3P, which is a legendary design, virtually unchanged for 30 years. You have the M1 3-piece, you have the L1 3-piece, you have the CR01, which is kind of like an entry-level 3-piece option. You have the S1 SUV, which is an SUV-specific variant for the more load capacity. Then you have the VS series, which is the VSXX. You have the VSXV. And then you have, of course, the most common one, the VSKF, which was discontinued and brought back as the VSKF Sharp. Do not mess this up. It's like the sign from music. It's not a hashtag, okay? Sharp is the symbol. It's meant to be an innovation. And if you get it wrong, they'll slap you. Trust me, I know. I was at Tokyo Auto Salon. I had to make sure I understood that before talking to the CEO. Again, what you're gonna notice is a lot of these are very, very similar, which can make them a little bit confusing. You do also have some newer lineups which aren't as popular, like the Adamas. It's an ultra luxury offering, more of the bigger sizes. It's meant more for honestly, like minivans, big thing over there in Japan. You have the Vara, which is a high-end luxury piece, also one for the SUV. And then with the Schwart, which is a 3-piece wheel as well, you have things like the Glasson, you have the Quell, the Brennan, the SG1, the SG2. And then of course you have the classic Heritage series within the Equip line as well. You have to remember the Equip series has been its foundational lineup within work since 1977. You have the Equip 01, which is one of my favorite wheels of all time. You have the Equip 03, and you also have the Equip 40. If you want a cool classic wheel, those are one of the 3 that you have to get. Don't get anything else. Now, pricing for work wheels is almost as confusing as the amount of wheel models. So I'm sorry if I lost you there for a little bit, but it's important to note there's a lot out there. Your 1-piece Emotion series are gonna run you anywhere from $300 and 15-inch all the way up to $680 for a 19-inch, and that's per wheel. Your 2-piece construction, if you start off with a 16 or 15-inch, is right around $450 to $500 a wheel, and the 20 inches get all the way up to about $1,000 a wheel. Finally, when you get into the 3-piece stuff that's a little bit more premium, it can get as cheap as about $1,500 a wheel if you're getting like a 16, 17-inch, and they can climb all the way up to $5,500 if you get up into the 20-inch diameter right there. Work Wheels does this thing where with their pricing, your best value is gonna sit right in that Emotion lineup. A lot of times I would argue that the 1-piece works are probably the best value that you can get. And if you want to go into something that's got a little bit more customization, honestly, the 2-piece wheels is a great place to do so. When you start climbing into like the 21-inch plus 3-piece stuff, things do get a little expensive. And once you start talking about chroming or you want to get really custom with it, it can obviously climb in price really, really fast. You don't need to spend all of that money if you don't want to, but if you want a good heritage wheel, there's a lot of really good options within work. But not all works are going to be the best value, which kind of goes into like what's the best and right work wheel for you. Honestly, I'd start out simple. If you're looking for a solid wheel that'll get the job done, the CR Kiwami is going to look good just on about everything. We have a set on the R34 and we love it. Keep in mind that because everything is so modular, things like even center caps aren't included unless you order them, which I personally think is kind of stingy, but I'm not the owner of a multi-million-dollar company. If you want a design that's more new gen, the Work ZR10 is the clearest winner. We had a set of them on a Nissan Z and we loved them so much, and nearly everyone we talked to after we threw the ZR10s on our Z threw them on theirs too, and they look incredible. And if you want to get a custom set, I would highly recommend just making it easy on yourself. Like, let us help with finalizing the sizes and things like that, but don't get too hung up on all of the options because there are a lot of options. It's one of the things that's made work so successful because they coined this idea of making things as the order comes in, just like Toyota started to do back in the 70s and 80s. What you get is this ability of a company being able to say, we'll make the wheel however you want it to get made. But the problem is that there's a few thousand miles, about 7,000 to be exact, from here to Japan, that separate our ability to understand all of those options. And because the company is Japanese, unfortunately, a lot gets lost in translation from there to here. Even the distribution that we have with work is incredibly slow, and sometimes it's just plain difficult. And because there are so many options, it can make it even harder with working with them to figure out what might work for your car, which is why we always recommend to keep it simple. Some of the best designs with cars are often the ones that are the simplest. You don't have to go crazy with colors or options because quite honestly, you might not end up even liking it because you did too much. Some of the best colors from work always tend to be that like Glim Black, which is on the ZR10, the bronze and copper finishes look absolutely incredible on the Workmeister S1 3P. And of course, the white is an iconic color on some of the more classic wheels. Don't have to go super wild with all that other stuff like valve stems and center caps if you don't want to, but if you do, we're always happy to help. So if you're looking for work wheels at any point, you can hit us up over at martiniworks.com. We do have all of the 1-piece stuff on the website, but if you want anything 2-piece or 3-piece, just because it's so modular, a lot of times we just ask that you shoot us a message so that we can actually figure out the right wheel spec, size, and color and finish for your car. It's a lot of times why you won't see the multi-piece stuff linked as like a product you can just immediately buy, because honestly, we've done that before and a lot of times people end up making more mistakes. So we want to help you. Just shoot us a message if you're looking for a multi-piece wheel setup. We'd be happy to help. We do have the lowest prices on it all. It's just a little bit more of a tedious process. But if you're building your car for you and that is the way that you want to go, we are super, super happy to help. So let us know if you'd like us to do this with another brand in the comments below. And of course, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed learning about car parts, consider subscribing. And of course, I'm Alex Martini, and we will see you tomorrow.